Hello, my name is Amar Al Dawud. I'm the Statistical and Analytics Software Team Lead here at ACR, and the title of our submission is ACR Maple Enhancing Global Educational Assessment. And this submission is a finalist in the Best International Implementation category, and we're very grateful to have our submission accepted and to be finalists for the E-Assessment Awards 2024. So some much needed context. What is PISA? In a nutshell, PISA is the Program for International Student Assessment. It's a large scale international survey of 15-year-old students around the world. So in broad approximate numbers, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of students that will be assessed in the order of 100 countries, over 100 languages. And what is ACR Maple? This is the software product that performs the statistical sampling. It's used for PISA and other projects, the instrument allocation, which is the test form allocation to students, and the participation tracking of students, teachers, schools, so on. So millions of student records will enter ACR Maple, and then hundreds of thousands of students will be sampled. I'd now like to give an overview of ACR Maple. So I'd like to demonstrate the configuration process, and then I'd like to show just how much of an improvement ACR Maple is from the previous version, but also other software out there or spreadsheets that perform sampling. And then I'll give you a sort of glimpse of the infrastructure that supports ACR Maple, the continuous integration and deployment pipeline. So this is what configuration looks like. There are 8 menus. I can't possibly take you through everything in 5 minutes, but what you need to do is set up a number of templates. So this is a very stripped down example where there's an upload and download template, and you can customize these variables to be whatever you like. And then if we go right into the instrument allocation here, I have 2 sets of reading instruments with some small rotations. And then if I go into the combined sampling option, I've built a pretty straightforward sampling option here. I want a target cluster size of 40 students, and then I want to give half the students this rotation of booklets called reading-1, and then the remaining proportion, the other half, reading-2. And then what I do is I go into school lists here and I upload a list of sampled schools, and this only has 10 schools. 9 in fact, and then I link to my sampling option. Once that's made available, ACR Maple then generates this sampling task. So it uses all that data to create this workflow, and this is a custom workflow that automatically performs sampling based on all those configurations. So I can upload a list of students that I prepared earlier, and I click save, and you can see it's instantly generated a tracking form. It's performed systematic random sampling. You could upload 1 million records at a time. It would happen very much instantly. To demonstrate what this means in terms of improvement from previous processes, this is the previous version of ACR Maple, which we're quite proud of. And you can see that it takes 1.5 minutes to perform a process that now takes seconds because we've completely automated it in the new version. So in the previous version or in other versions of software out there that perform sampling, you need to upload all your students first. So that's a process. And then you need to click through and you need to sample and allocate your students. So you need to sample the students, allocate the instruments, select the sampling options, and you can see you have to click through and do this. And this is just to show how complex the process actually is. So now ACR Maple takes all of this. There are thousands and thousands of lines of code that perform everything that other software generally requires you to do manually. It now performs it automatically. Not only that, it performs it in seconds. It's imperceptible, nearly the speed at which ACR Maple performs these operations. So if you think of a large scale international survey where you have tens of thousands of schools or any sort of survey, you're taking tens of thousands of minutes of work and you're really reducing it to seconds. So it's a significant improvement. There's no other software on the market that we know that's as flexible as ACR Maple. And then I'd like to show you some of the infrastructure that underpins ACR Maple. So I'll give you a glimpse of this continuous integration and deployment pipeline. So this is a battery of 601 automated tests that run in a dedicated environment. So whenever a client asks for a new feature, we can create the feature and then run it through this test suite. And then this checks not only that new feature, but that every single other feature we've ever deployed also works. So we can ensure that there are no regression issues when we deploy new features. And it's just building the desktop app there and running the tests there. And right at the end, you'll see it will say 601 tests have passed. And then that new feature will be off to production for users. And that's all I wanted to say about ACR Maple and our submission enhancing global educational assessment. And we're very grateful to be finalists in this year's e-assessment awards. And thank you for considering our submission, and thank you for watching.